Hey Star Wars fans, it's Ed Park aka Taugrim. In this video we're going to look at the mechanics for the Sharpshooter tree. It's the cast time nuking tree for the Gunslinger and Sniper advanced class. The tree provides many buffs for instant cast, nukes, and defensive abilities. In the second tier of the tree we get the excellent Trickshot talent, which reduces the cooldown of our 35-meter ranged route from 15 seconds down to 12 seconds, and we get ballistic dampers, which provides 3 charges that each absorb 30% of an incoming hit. The 11-point talent is called Diversion. It's an ability that you can use to knock opponents out of cover, and it reduces their accuracy by 45%. And we also get Spacer, which enables your detonate to knock opponents back an additional 2 meters. And thanks to Foxhole, we also get faster energy regeneration while in cover. Snapshot enables your charge burst to be cast instantly when you enter cover, and you can follow up charge burst or aim shot with the Trickshot, which is an amazing 21-point talent, which is energy efficient, hits hard, and is instant cast. It's important to try to proc the quick aim buff to make your aim shot cast 1 second faster, and you can do this from getting crits from your charged burst or any of the ticks from the speed shot channeled ability. So we'll look at this in the video. And then in the middle tree, I take a talent here to boost my maximum energy from 100 to 110, and that provides a wider window for your maximum energy regeneration rate. So it's really important. And then I also took the talent to decrease the cooldown for the flash grenade, the AoE Mez, from 60 seconds down to 45 seconds. When opening up on targets, I generally open up with Flourish, which is an armor and healing debuff, followed with a sabotage charge, and then charge burst, trick shot, and in this case I go ahead and use the execute called Quick Draw, which is a hard hitter instant cast ability that's available when your target is at or under 30% health. And right here I pop both of my buffs defensively. I use defensive screen and then hunker down, which puts those metal plates while you're in cover, and it makes you immune to all CC. There's no way to get you out of it unless your opponent also has the diversion ability. This opponent here catches me at like 2% health. I go ahead and burn a health pot, get into hunker down, knock him back here, and I make a huge mistake. Right here I start to wind up an aim shot. I should have used speed shot instead because it delivers upfront damage, and then I could have used my bubble in defensive screen and then finished him off with a quick draw. So you got to be careful about using aim shot when you don't have the quick aim buff up, because the 2.5 cast time, second cast time is an eternity in PvP. Right here, I'm trying to burn down a healer who was at low health, but he's healing himself and getting healed by this player right next to him. So, what I should have done is open up with my healing debuff, but I got greedy and tried to burn him down. So finally, I go back and go through the normal rotation. I apply Flourish for the healing debuff, Sabotage Charge, Charge Burst, Trick Shot, and then drop him with a Quick Draw. So I just rooted that enemy as soon as he picked up the flag. Again, having the ability to root people from 35 meters out every 12 seconds is fantastic both for offense and defense. In Huttball, it's really important to stay up on the catwalks. You can protect yourself up here by just knocking opponents who are coming to kill you with your knockback, and also you can use the walkways for line of sight. If you get far enough back on a walkway, you can get out of line of sight of your opponents. Now, right here, the fire pit's about to turn on, so I can't go anywhere, so I go ahead and enter in cover. And the nice thing about cover is you can't be charged and you can't be pulled. You can still be knocked back, but it does provide you some protection. Right here, for example, that player knocks me back. Now check out what I do here. This isn't a pug match, but I know there's a player above me just on the other side of the fire, so I cut an angle diagonally and then aim for the part of the ramp that's just past the fire, and it lands on my intended target. So now that I've gotten rid of the flag, I start to peel, using my DPS abilities and CC to take pressure off the flag carrier, and he scores. And as we're running back here toward the middle for the flag spawn, I go ahead and use my root ability on this opposing player. Like I said, aim shot is an amazing ability. It hits hard. The main thing to be aware of is that you generally don't want to use it when you don't have the buff up, the quick aim buff, because of the 2.5 second cast time. In some cases it's okay, like for example if your opponent is mezzed and you can take your time, winding up that long cast time, but generally you want to wait until you get a crit from your charge burst or speed shot, and then you can crank out that aim shot much faster. So whenever you're in traffic like right here, I go ahead and pop both defense screen, which is an absorption bubble, as well as hunker down. It's a preventative care thing. You don't know when you're going to get CC'd, so you might as well go ahead and put up your hunker down. And a lot of players make the mistake of trying to CC an opponent who is in hunker down, which means they just wasted a CC. Huttball's great, you know, with that spacer talent. My knockback really pushes people back a mile, and you can knock them down into the pit and really disrupt what they're trying to do. And thankfully in 1.2 you can see the target of target. So I know this healer here is healing the flag carrier, so I start to burn down the healer. And you know, he's caught in a bad situation. He can either keep himself up or keep the flag carrier up, and in this case they both go down. We get a really nice ability called Distraction, which I used right there. It's a 30-meter interrupt ability, and just like with all interrupts in this game, it will lock out the spell being cast for 4 seconds, and then I drop that player with a quick draw. That execute's just fantastic. And then this friendly gunslinger's at low health, so I come up and peel. I use my ranged route, follow up with a stun, and then that player went invisible, but I used a ground target AoE spell to break him out of stealth, and then we drop that opposing player. Now here's the optimal DPS sequence. Note that I get next to the post so the people down below me to the left don't have line of sight. I open up with Flourish, follow with Sabotage Charge, Charge Burst, Trick Shot, and then Speed Shot to proc the quick aim ability. So I get that fast cast aim shot right there, and then drop the target with a quick draw execute. This is one of the best finishing classes in the game, in my opinion, because of its long 35-meter range and because it has so many tools for delivering compact bursts. So, you know, I'll show you at the end here, but generally, you know, if I'm playing my gunslinger pretty well, of the killing blows I score at the end of the match, generally 50% or more of them are from my character, and it's just a reflection of the capabilities of this particular spec. It's fantastic for burning down opponents. So as far as defensive cooldowns go, you know, we have our ranged route, knockback, the AoE mez, and then a melee range stun. So right here, I go ahead and use that melee stun, root my opponent, and he starts to run away. And here's an interesting thing. Even if you can't see your opponent, the way your guns are pointing are where he is relative to you, even if you can't see him due to a difference in Z-axis. So go ahead and follow him down and you know, just make sure to burn him down. And you know, as a sniper or gunslinger, a lot of the times in Huttball, one of the best things you can do is just protect mid. So, you know, disrupt the enemy flag carriers, make sure that your team can pick up the flag whenever possible, just by keeping mid clear. So right there, I open up with the channeled speed shot, and one of the ticks, the opening tick crits, and that enables me to follow up with a fast cast aim shot. It's a really important thing. You don't get your speed shot until level 36, but it definitely affects the rotation of abilities. And here I'm showing part of the problem of being, you know, down on lower ground. I don't have line of sight on that opposing player. I do keep him targeted, notice, so I can see where he is. My guns are still pointing at him, and I don't see a better target, so I go ahead and get into line of sight on him, use quick draw for the execute, and then a charge burst as soon as I enter cover. You know, one of the things you'll see me doing throughout this video is, you know, frequently readjusting myself in cover, and I do this after every 6 seconds or so because this will give me the ballistic dampers buff and allow me to squeeze off another instant cast charge burst. Here I've got 2 players on me. I go ahead and pop some defensive abilities, use a knockback. I use my dodge ability here too. I don't get any dodge messages, which means that I pop my dodge ability too late and they do catch me here. In my opinion, the most important thing about playing a sharpshooter gunslinger or a marksman sniper is to make sure to not play the spec as a turtle spec. You really need to move around quite a bit and re-enter cover frequently so that you can get the buffs from entering cover for both your snapshot and the ballistic dampers. Of the 30 kills that I'm credited with, 15 of them were from my killing blows, and that really speaks to the ranged finishing capability of this class. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know. Take care. Game Breaker TV.